Hello, this is Group 1, and today we're going to be doing a video about the water window. We were given a little challenge on how we were able to water our course from when the golfers are done at 10 p.m. until the staff arrives at 5 a.m. So in this video we will show you our watering schedule through the dry run program and how much water we can put down with our system before the allotted amount of time of watering is done.
After you have your programs and schedules in place, you can do a dry run to see the results. Click the dry run icon in the top toolbar and select play in the top left. To see a more detailed breakdown, check the dry runtime logs. You can see here that the rough on number 1, head 7, did not go up. Check the station data icon and go to the rough on the first hole. You can see here that there's no address for rough on 1, head 7. We'll put in an address that isn't similar to any other addresses. We'll run another dry run and recheck the logs. And now we can see that head 1R7 has run for its cycle time. In the top toolbar, if you see a yellow flashing exclamation point, that means you have an alert in your alert center. By clicking the exclamation point, the alert center will come up and you can read what is going on with your system. In this case, 5 fairway 1 and 17 T4 were putting out too much GPM. When we go into our data station, we can see that there's an error in the number of routers for fairway 1 as well as 17. Now we click on the alert center once we have made our corrections and select the button in the top left corner to turn the alert off. To test what we did is correct, we run a dry run and watch the alert center throughout this process. If the yellow exclamation point begins to flash again, there's still an alert. Once all errors are corrected, and you perform a dry run and notice that your GPMs are substantially lower than your output of your pump, you need to go into the system settings to check the electrical makeup of your irrigation system. Seeing as we're running a decoder system, we click under the decoder icon and the 3 little dots that appear. 20 solenoids is typical for a 9-hole golf course, so we will double that and check another dry run to see if our GPMs come up to our pump capacity. In this case, we're getting a pretty average line going across 1100 GPM, which means our problem has been eradicated.
In order to test how long it will take for a WaterAll program to run with a default runtime of 10 minutes, we will first set the water budget to 100% and initiate a dry run. As can be seen, the dry run ends at 3:30, leaving us an hour and a half room to play with. We'll set the water budget to 140% and initiate another dry run to see if we've gotten any closer to our 5 a.m. start time. Unfortunately, setting the water budget to 140% has caused us to go over by almost 45 minutes. However, we're much closer, so with a couple more small tweaks, we should be right where we need to be. The magnifying glass can be used to zoom in on the graph to show you a more accurate description of what time the sprinklers shut off at. As can be seen here, we're right near 5 a.m.
Okay, so we're going to go over a chase program for your irrigation system. So if your last two tee times are at 8 o'clock on the first and the 10th hole, this is one way that we can do it. I've programmed a number of programs for the system, so hole 1 and 10 will both go off at 8:20. That's just to give the golfers enough time to get through the first hole. The next time will be at 8:40 for holes 2 and 11. You can see here 8:40. The next program will be holes 3 and 12. They go off at 9:20. Holes 12 and 4 and 13 will go off at 9:20. Holes 5 and 14 will go off at 9:40, and the remaining holes on the front and the back 9 will both go on at 10 o'clock. So we'll just do a dry run and we'll see what time it runs out. So our parameters are set for 8 p.m. and 7 a.m. and see what happens. Okay, so we will see that our peak was probably at about 174 gallons per minute, and we were finished our cycle by 2:33 a.m. or 2:19 a.m. So what does that mean in regards to how much water we can put out? Well, let's just put that to the test. So I'm going to bump up the water system water budget up to 154%, and we'll see how much water we can put out in that amount of time. Alright, so we'll move over to the 5 a.m. area. And our last sprinkler shuts off at 4:55 a.m. just in time for the crew to show up and not have to worry about getting wet while they go and do their morning tasks. Thank you.
So after fixing a few of our alarms that our system brought to our attention and upping our solenoid output from 20 to 40, we were able to get the maximum efficiency out of our pump, which was around 1,200 gallons per minute. Also, we were able to figure out that we could water 130%, which was 13 minutes in our allotted watering time. Thanks for watching.